Hey everybody, I am really excited about this lab because seeing a real satellite flying over your head is one of the most amazing things. And the thing is, most people don't even know when they're seeing a satellite. So one of the awesome things about this lab is you're going to learn how to see a satellite, and once you learn how to recognize it, honestly, for the rest of your life, you're going to be seeing them and you'll be able to like, hey look, that's a satellite. People will be like, no way. You'd be like, yes, that's a satellite, because my astronomy teacher taught me how to see it. So let me show you how to find a satellite. The trick is seeing it the first time. Once you learn what they look like, how they move, you'll see them no problem. So this is a website called Heavens Above, which actually allows you to kind of plan out observations of any satellite, from International Space Station to the Hubble Space Telescope. Every satellite is in here. It's pretty amazing, except probably like the secret ones. The most important thing though is that you set your observing location. The satellites that you can see depend on where you are on the Earth. So the very first thing you do when you come to the site is change your observing location. So you click that. And now what I'm going to do is just enter the name of the place here. So the place I'm going to put is my hometown. So Spring Lake, Michigan. That's all you got to do is put your hometown, hit enter, and what you'll do, you'll see that the map updates. And it just has to be close. I mean, as long as this is within 20 miles, you know, you're fine. If you go down further, you'll see actually that your latitude and longitude and elevation is plugged in here too. So then you say update, and that brings you back to the home page. So that has to be done every time you visit the website. And you can see that it has been done up in the URL. At the top, it'll tell you the latitude and longitude, so you know you got it. Now there's a ton to explore here, but probably the easiest way for us to see a satellite is just to go right here to daily predictions for brighter satellites. So I'm going to click on that. And what this is going to do is it'll do for today's date, what are the brightest satellites that are flying by in either the morning or the evening. Now when you're seeing a satellite, you're not seeing the light given off by that satellite. Instead, what you're seeing is sunlight actually reflected off of the satellite, its solar panels, and then bouncing down to the Earth. So the best time to see this is actually the morning or evening, just before sunrise or just after sunset, because the sky is dark, you're seeing stars, and but the sun is still hitting this satellite because the sunlight is still hitting way up in the upper atmosphere, even though it's dark and nighttime for us. So you'll see this is for the day I'm making this video, December 28, and you'll see a different date. And this default here of minimum brightness, okay, is setting like, well, how faint do you want these things to be? And it's the magnitude scale, which is the scale we use for stars. You should just set it to magnitude 3, because we want the brightest stars. And for magnitudes, the lower the number, the brightest. So if you want the easiest satellite to try to see here, you want it to be the smallest number. And if it goes negative, that's even great. Like -1 would be amazing. So as I look at this list, the brightest one I have here is 1.1 magnitudes. And you'll see it tells me the time of start, highest point, and end. So I'm going to look at this. Okay, it's military time, so I'm looking at it. This one is like 6:35. Well, that's not that big of a deal. I can stay up that late. Now, if you're doing this in the summertime or maybe the springtime, it'll be later, right? Because this has to be after sunset. I'm doing this right now in the winter, so it's pretty early. Okay, so 6:35 is when it starts. It also tells you then the altitude it starts at, 10 degrees. That's like, so this is, the altitude is how high above the horizon are you going to first see it, right? So it's going to start very close to the horizon, so 10 degrees above the horizon. Remember that altitude goes from 0 at the horizon to 90 degrees, which is straight overhead. And then what direction, the azimuth. So this particular one, the Tiangong 2, is starting in the west-southwest. So I'm going to be looking in the direction of west-southwest. And then it tells me the time of its highest point. The time of its highest point is going to be 69 degrees, so not quite overhead. 69 degrees above the southern horizon. So pretty high up. And how much later is that going to be? This is the really, really, really important thing about satellites. Notice that from the time I first would be able to see it till the time it's straight overhead is just about 3 minutes. So this is the giveaway that you're looking at a satellite. Okay, a satellite will look exactly like a star. Okay, and not a super bright star. It'll look kind of like one of the faintish stars. Even a 1.1 star, it's not going to like super stand out. It won't be like this really bright flash of light. It's going to look just like any ordinary star, except this star is very gradually and consistently moving across the sky. You see, from start to its high point is 3 minutes, and then its end point, where it'll no longer be reflecting any sunlight, is just like another minute later. So you'll see it kind of gradually get brighter, very subtly, just slowly and steadily moving in a straight line across the sky, and then gradually fade away. And that's how you know you've seen a satellite. So now keep in mind, imagine how slowly something would have to move to take like 6 minutes to move across the whole sky. So it's moving really slow, but it's moving in a straight line, and it's not flashing. It's just a star, consistent dot of light. Okay, if it's flashing, you're probably looking at a airplane instead. That's the key. It has to be a steady point of light, looks like a star, moving very slowly. So let's say Tiangong 2 is the star I'm going to look at. I'm sorry, it's the satellite I'm going to look at. What do you have to submit for this particular lab? Well, what I want you to do then is to click on the time here of its highest point, and it's going to bring up this star chart, the past details they call it. Okay, and what this shows is a map of the entire night sky. Okay, it has all these stars and constellations labeled, and it shows there where the satellite's going to be coming from and where it's going to end, and it has timestamps on it. So you see 1834, 35, 36, so 637, 638, 639. So you can be you can test and know if you're looking in the right part of the sky when you see this particular satellite. Now, you know, don't expect it to be in exactly that exact spot at that moment, right? It gives you a ballpark, but you should be looking for this star that's gradually moving. Now, this is one thing I want you to submit, is this past details star chart. To do that, what you do is just right-click on it, or control-click if you're on a Mac, and then just say Save Image As. Okay, or you could take a screenshot, but I think it'll be simpler to save image as. Okay, and that'll give evidence to me that you've actually looked up this star chart, and you can submit that. Okay, so that's one thing you're going to submit. Now when you're on this page, you'll see a few other options here. One of them is this info option. And this is really cool because now when you click on that, this gives you the satellite information. So I can see maybe a picture of this actual satellite when it was on the ground, so I know what this real object is that I'm seeing in the sky. It shows the orbit of this satellite. It shows you blah blah blah. Let's see here, a category. Oh whoa, this is part of a space station. Wow. This is like China's space station. Was launched in September of 2016. Wow. Okay, so you get all this information. You can search Wikipedia on it, so you can find out all kinds of stuff about this thing you're looking at. Like I thought it was just a satellite, but it's part of this Chinese space station. Go figure. Super cool. Okay, so you're going to take a screenshot of this page. That's the second thing you're going to submit. Okay, so the first thing was the star chart. The second thing is the satellite information page. And the last thing I want you to submit is actually a photo of you outside observing this satellite. Okay, now it doesn't have to be like an amazing picture. I certainly do not expect you to be able to capture a photo of the satellite. This is just a picture of you and whoever you convinced to go outside with you to see the satellite. Okay, but really the most important thing of this is that you do actually see the satellite, right? So give yourself the time you need. It might be that the first satellite you look up you don't actually see. Well, just stay outside and keep looking for a point of light that's slowly moving across the sky. Seriously, if you're out there for 10 minutes looking roughly overhead for little star-like things moving and that are not flashing, that's a satellite. Okay. Cool. Well, those are the three things I'd like you to submit. This is an awesome website with lots and lots of stuff to explore. And happy observing!